house. In my house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. I got my coffee today. Good coffee. Now, if you're wondering how I drink my coffee, this is it right here. There you go. This is how I make my coffee in the morning. Is Bitcoin still up? Is Bitcoin down to zero or what? Is crypto dead? I'm not dead. And then Chris Crypto says, "Go Knights." Yeah. You don't know what the hell that means. Vegas has a hockey team called the Golden Knights. They're in the Stanley Cup Finals. One game away from winning the championship. Excited. Yeah, and also I will be at the next game as well. I got picked up a ticket. We'll be at the arena. Exciting for week. Rocco's on a vacation. No Rocco next week. We got a guest producer in house hanging out with us. And so that's exciting. I gotta show him how to run the productions. Polygon bounced back. Cardano's officially dead by the price. And that's the narrative. You know, we don't believe that, but wow. Feeling good today, man. How's everybody else feeling in here, man? You know, I need a like button for my house because y'all haven't hit it. Hit the like button. All right. So if you're new here, I see a couple of new names here in the chat. If you're new to our Sunday show, this is Rant and Ramble with me. The reason that this segment is named Rant and Ramble is because I have very little structure when it comes to designing shows and scripting and storyboarding. And so for me, I just turn the camera on and we see what happens. You know, that's the way it goes. I do a lot of ranting and rambling, very little structure. But it makes for an entertaining Sunday show. Also, we like to discuss more personal growth because hey, if your life's falling apart, if your finances are falling apart, if you're kind of stuck in a rut, you're really not going anywhere, you're not making any progress in life or finance, and it's hard to have success in one area of your life while everything else is taking a back seat, right? And so I feel like it's important to you know, just to kind of shake up your mind a little bit and, you know, maybe have someone else kind of smack you around and say, hey, time to wake up, time to get some things done, or hey, you know, where's some areas of improvement. So that's what we do here. We don't talk as much crypto as we do during the regular show. I do talk crypto. This is still a crypto show. So usually the first 70% of the show, we talk crypto, but a lot of Q&A. So, guys, if you have anything that you want to know, any questions on crypto, some thoughts, or if you want to know more about me or the team or our channel or just a broader space, let me know. Also, you know, Smalley here, you know, a wine guy, and also a lifelong chef at very prestigious restaurants and for celebrity chefs. And anyway, so you got some food questions. Throw that in there as well. All right. So real quick, I do want to get a little shout out here to the chat. If you are new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We got Rick Wilson first up in the chat. Sandeep Mond, Knoxville, Talladega, Crypto Hands, Tug Eye, Rusty Bot, Servando, R252, Pong Meng, Fino, Jason, Get Money Clap. Also, Marcus 99, John Suhart, Rusty Bot, Leroy Tox, Remington Perart, Harp, Wise Tree, Kenton. What else we got in here? James Cameron, Sean Behringer, Talladega, Jason, I think I already said you. Kevin B, Chris Crypto. Who else is up in here? Paul Lukin. Got Mr. T Crypto, said his first Sunday show as well. DC Anonymous drops in the Ola up in here. Paul Baker. I am Jay. To all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, we got A1 in here last minute. So just to give you, for the new people here, just to give you a crash course on Sunday, my favorite day of the week. Why? Well, hey, get to evaluate this last week, see what worked, what didn't, and what opportunities are there that I didn't capitalize on, or some areas of improvement that I can look forward to by evaluating my prior week. Also, I'm gonna kind of plan out my week, my next week. And so, as I mentioned, we have, for myself personally, I have Rocco, our producer, business partner. He's out of town next week. So as soon as I'm done with this show, I need to get a couple things done, and I'm off to the studio. And I got to start preparing for tomorrow. You know, I got to prepare for the week now. I know that, and this isn't just, hey, because one person left. This is what I do. Like on Sunday is a day of rest for people, but for me, it's a day of evaluation and to put down my goals. And so I will be, that's what I'm doing. And last week I asked you guys, hey, what is one thing y'all did this week that might be a little different? So go ahead and start off the show with that as well. Maybe it'll spur up a talking point. So in the chat down below, put one thing that you did out of the ordinary this week, something that's exciting, something that's cool, something that you're proud about. You know, is there something that some goal or an opportunity that you had that you're very thankful for, or some progress you made in something, or just say some cool little story. I want to know what made this week special for you guys. Put that in the chat. All right, so I'm gonna start this thing off, and also we do a lot of music here, by the way, too. So I'm gonna start this thing off by getting into a look at the markets, and then we'll go from there. So we're gonna start with the markets. Oh, my boy Jason said he got an apartment in Green Valley, bro. You right down the street from me now, man. You're I think 12 minutes away. So excited to hang out with you, man. All right. So Marcus 99 said he used Pulse Bridge for the first time. And oh, you know what? I have actually a chat button here. There we go. I don't need to read these. I can pull them up. So I used yeah, and then slated late Rob or new time. Yeah, so today I want to keep, YouTube, you don't want a lot of variation. And so for our live show, by the way, guys, my apologies, I should explain this, but for our live show, we're going live at 11 a.m. and that's Monday through Friday. And because YouTube likes consistency on your uploads, and I won't break it down why, so you always, it's no different than having a TV show on, say, Fox or CBS or ESPN. You want whatever show that you want to air at the same time every day. And so even though this is a different show, YouTube doesn't know that. So we air at the same time. So if the live show goes live at 11 on Monday through Friday, Rant Ramble will go live at 11 as well. So just in case you guys are wondering. And then let's see what else we got. And DC Anonymous says he bought the dip. And Get Money Clap says thanks for the shout out. Okay, yeah. It's a lot more Q&A, a lot more personable on these Sunday shows. We try to give shout outs on the live show. It's more just like, hey, it's a quick name, but this is definitely a lot more one-on-one here. Rick says he didn't panic sell anything. Congrats to that, brother. And where's Bitcoin at? Oh, flat 26,000. Oh, I think this is going to be an interesting spot to look at, right? 26,000 is going to be very interesting. And yeah, what was it? We had our little last minute emergency Friday night stream when the markets were kind of tanking. And we discussed the possibility of getting stuck in a channel that's between 25 and 26,000. And if you look here, you have we got down to 20. What was the bottom here? 25.5. So 25.5 was the bottom. Now I'm curious if we might have a leg down the same way that we had these leg ups. So if you take a look here, we went from 16,000, we went up to 22,000, and we traded in this range for 2 months, and then we shot up to 28,000. Traded between 26 and 30,000 for a few months. And so you see how we traded in these ranges for excess period of time, or for a certain period of time, for months at a time. I'm just curious if we have a consolidation and a pullback where we trade sideways at a lower level, and perhaps that lower level is 25,000. Perhaps we've dropped back down to 22 or 23. I think I'm kind of split. I'd probably say I'm about 50-50 myself personally. And I'm not the TA expert here, but I'd probably say I'm about split 50-50 on the direction of the market. But I do think that because of the lack of volume and honestly the lack of liquidity in the crypto markets as of lately, liquidity is drying up here in the States. There isn't as much money sloshing around in the crypto space, and so for that reason, you're not getting these big run-ups and also big sell-offs outside of the big breakout, right? And so you don't, from back here in November to January, it was very little movement. 16, 17,000. It wasn't a ton of up and down movement. The same thing when you're in the $22,000 to $23,000 range here. I mean, you had one drop off where we tested 21,000 and bounced back up, but outside of a couple little hiccups, there wasn't too much movement until you broke out and then got into a new area, a new price channel. And so the same here. We had a couple breakouts at 30,000, but where I'm getting at is that I think wherever this Bitcoin price moves to, because of the lack of liquidity and also the lack of volume and the lack of new money coming in, wherever this price ends up, it's going to hang out there and consolidate and trade sideways. Is it going to be 30,000? That was the direction we were going before all of this Coinbase and Binance madness. Will the markets capitulate a little bit because of the forced selling from Robinhood and the fear and uncertainty and people selling off and people walking away? Or perhaps it's just as simple as, hey, I'm going to exit my alts because of the uncertain environment, and I'm going to go to Bitcoin. And in doing so, I've removed liquidity from one project and just simply moved it over to Bitcoin. We're seeing the Bitcoin dominance go up. So I think that within the next couple weeks, we'll see the move in Bitcoin at the price it'll trade at for months. I think I think the trend is going to follow. And I mean, you can look back here. We traded for months at 20,000, and then the big move, and it dropped down. And so, was this our bear market rally? Some people say it was. Some people say the top was the meme coin craze, the Pepe. And, makes sense, right? That's what's marked the top at the last bull market. Was both Shiba Inu or Doge followed by Shiba Inu, the two tops, right? It was a double top in the last bull market cycle. Doge marked the top on one, Shiba Inu marked the top on the other. And perhaps this bear market rally was marked by the top of Pepe. And I can see that. So where I'm getting at is that I think that there's about a 50-50 narrative here on the direction of crypto. Will it continue its progress back up to 30,000? I think there's a good chance for that. About a 50% chance. I also think that at the same time, with all likelihood, I think there's a 50% chance that it drops down to, say, this last area of consolidation here, 22, 23,000, and it hangs out there. But whatever direction it does go, it hangs out and trades sideways for 2-3 months. Although there is an interesting not development, but the interesting situation that, hey, if there is a resolution to this XRP Ripple Labs lawsuit, the whole issue that we're entangled in right now, the whole FUD that we have been repeatedly forced to talk about is the SEC, U.S. regulation, the lack thereof, and the flight of crypto outside of the U.S. and going abroad. The progressive regulation being drafted in other countries and exchanges simply setting up shop everywhere else. So with the exclusion of the U.S. and the building of the infrastructure abroad, this is the narrative. But all it takes is one court case, because there is a lack of clear of regulatory understanding when it comes to what is a digital asset, what is a security, what is a commodity, because crypto fits in some weird opaque box in between the three, and there's no clarity. There's a couple things that need to happen to make this move forward in the U.S. One is congressional. The Congress comes in and steps up and drafts legislation that gives guidance to the branches of government, the CFTC, the Treasury Department, the Fed, SEC, but primarily the SEC and the CFTC, the two branches of government that oversee commodities and securities. That's how we're in this whole damn mess anyways. And so it's either them, it's the branches of government coming up and saying, okay, this is the framework. SEC is not going to do that. SEC has taken a stance that everything falls in this 1930s securities law, and that's how it is. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen, this right here was our tweet. The SEC be like 1930s laws cover crypto. Then, so where I want to remind you guys is that with the court case, there can be set precedents, right? And so if federal courts decide, hey, this is our ruling on what is a security, one project to say the least, it would give precedence to all of the other similar court cases. So if the SEC right now is saying, Ripple, your XRP token is a security. If the federal courts say, no, it's not a security, then anytime they point the finger at another project and say, hey, Cardano, you are security. Hey, Polygon, you are security. You can simply look at the previous court case and say, well, no, it's not a security. The federal courts have decided that this project, this token, Ripple Lab and XRP, that they are not a security. And in doing so, you cannot name this other project a security as well. And the court case is going to come to an end. You know, I know it's been a while. If you think about it, think about this: the XRP court case. It's been a while, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, there's going to be no resolution." But the entire time, up until about 2 months ago, or about 6 weeks ago, all of the conversation when it came to this court case was what one side of the lawyer, team of lawyers, what one side was submitting as evidence, what they were talking about, what they wanted to cover. And so now everything is in. And so now it's like listening to a court case, it's like a not a civil trial, but thinking of a criminal court case where the prosecution and the defense are making their arguments. They have their witnesses, they have the testimonies, and now the jury is in deliberation. This is exactly where the civil lawsuit is between the SEC and Ripple Labs, is that a judge is looking over the evidence. Now, could go to trial. I think that's less likely. Could be we could go into a what's it called? A settlement. That's a possibility, but more than likely, we're just going to have a resolution, and the judge is going to make a verdict one way or the other. And it seems with the evidence that has been put in front of us, and maybe I'm in my crypto echo chamber here, but it seems like this Ripple Labs thing will go in their favor. And if that happens, the trend of the market will not be going down. That's all I'm saying, because we'll have clarity. At least that projects aren't going to be listed as security simply by how they were released. They released their tokens. Now, there's other securities laws other than ICO, your initial coin offering. You have, what they're going after the exchanges. Hey, you're a broker dealer, you're a clearinghouse, there's a lot of different accusations, wash trading, transparency, stable coins. And so there's a lot more to it, but this would be one of the biggest move forwards or one of the big steps forward towards the regulatory clarity that we need so badly here in this space. And I just want to remind you that where we're at right now, this sinking feeling, this feeling of loneliness and kind of scared, this is exactly the same feeling that you get in all of the previous bear markets. This is standard protocol for the bear market, and the narrative has just changed. The variables have changed. In the past, it was the ICO craze, and before that was the Mt. Gox, and before that it was Silk Road, and God knows what else. And so the narrative's the same. Crypto's dead. Crypto's bad. Crypto's not going to go anywhere. Get your money out. There's no shortage of prominent voices out there speaking against crypto that have a platform, that have a microphone, that are beating the drum to get out. And we've heard this before. Now, some people say crypto is dead. I don't even think that's like, I'm not a big fan of that. Like how many times that people said crypto is dead. I think that's more like clickbait. It's like saying how many content creators have made YouTube thumbnails or advertised, hey, 1000x, 1000x. It would be the equivalent to that, but the polar opposite, right? I think that people are like, oh, how many times did the Moon Boys say that Bitcoin's going to $1 million? I don't know. And so for me, I think that's just that clickbait narrative, and I don't think people really believe it. I don't think that the content creators really thought that XRP was ever going to get to $150 or $170. But that's what people were advertising just to get someone else's attention. And I think the same thing is said when people beat the drum for the crypto is dead. I don't think they believe it. I just think that they're trying to get you to read their article or listen to their point of view. All right. So let's get some music going on here. So if you're new here, also say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. I see a couple new people. We got Vino Mystic, Stoked RB 1500 HP Club, Hydrin Ultra, Motivate Me, and Get Money Clap as well. I think I mentioned it earlier. David Motts, John Foster Crypto. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also GT in here as well. And guys, let's show the community here what we do, who we are, what the slogan is, what the battle cry is. And so put an Ola in the chat. OLA. I want to see, we got 125 people, only 70 likes. Not sure why y'all aren't liking the video. First of all, hit the like button. After you hit the like button, type Ola in the chat. I want to see at least 100 Olas going off up in here. Y says, haven't been looking to sell, looking to accumulate. Love having those extreme low prices. ADA anywhere in this range end up being a steal buy. Yes, 100%. These altcoins are on sale right now. And I am looking to accumulate my altcoins. I'll be honest with you, I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I was kind of looking to see if there was going to be another leg down immediately, because a lot of times I try not to buy on the first drop, because how many of us have looked at a project, you're like, oh man, especially think about the whole bear market drop, right, where we went from 65,000 on Bitcoin. There was a lot of money I had on the side where I was like, ooh, I'm like, look at that. Cardano at 60 cents. Buy. Oh man. Polygon at $1.20. Buy. And then you look further down the road, 2-3 weeks, and boom, it's 30% off even then. So I've been trying to see where this price is going to settle in at. And you're not going to miss any crazy gains taking your time right now, right? Think about it. If you mentioned Cardano, for example, Cardano's, I think, is at 26 cents. Let me take a look here. Here's the thing. Like, if you don't buy it today at 26 cents, I mean, what are you going to buy it at tomorrow? Or 27 cents is the price, right? And so if you don't pick it up today at 7 cents, it's not like it's going to go to 40 cents within the next 3 weeks. It's not. Let's just be real, right? It was there a week ago. But more than likely, it's not going to go back up to 38 cents within the next week. And so is it a safer play to wait it out and see if it goes a little lower and maybe pick it up at 29 or 30 cents and you get it at 2 cents more expensive than you have now? Or perhaps you wait it out and it takes another little tumble. Maybe it drops down to, maybe it takes another tumble and it drops down to, 22 cents. I think that 22 cents is more likely than 32 cents, right? That's a 5 cent swing either way. 32 cents is the next area of support. But I mean, and here's the thing, even if you buy it at 32 cents, is it that big a deal? Right? I mean, it was at 38 cents a week ago. So that's just my mentality. I think when the tokens are moving in a certain direction, I like to wait till they settle in, right? And so I want to see if it's going to take a little bit more of a dump. Cardano's just getting beat up, man. That SEC narrative and the fact that Charles has been so quiet has been very surprising. Very, very surprising. There's not the only one that's brought this concerns up. Let's see here. So Polygon and Solana joined Cardano in dismissing the SEC's allegations. And so Charles did put out a video about a week ago, or maybe about 4 days ago, right when this whole mess started. And Charles Hoskinson, founder of Cardano, he came out and was like, hey, this is what politics do. This is what the political parties do, is they argue, and nothing new here. That's what they said. That's what he said. Now, Polygon, Solana have been quiet in this area until now. Polygon released this statement. Polygon was a necessary part, or Matic was a necessary part of Polygon technology from day one, ensuring that the network would be secure, and remains so to this day. Given our focus on the network security, we made sure Matic was available to a wide group of persons, but only actions that did not target the U.S. at any time. So basically, they're saying they did not release the product to the U.S. U.S. consumers, but they did list on U.S. exchanges, and so yeah, I'm not sure. So they're basically saying that, hey, we didn't even have your supposed sale of securities in the U.S., so we don't need to follow your securities law, right? Makes sense, right? I mean, imagine if you launched a company in Australia and Thailand and India, and you said, hey, who wants to participate in this company? We're going to build something cool. This happens to be in the crypto space. Like, hey, we need some money to build this crypto platform out, this blockchain, and so we want to raise some capital. And in doing so, we're going to issue out these tokens, and hey, these tokens are going to have real utility. We want to generate income. We own a large percentage of the tokens. So if you buy these tokens, we can use our own tokens to fund the development. And then at some point it'll decentralize itself. Kind of the premise of this. And they're saying that here, hey, we developed outside the US. And so just imagine you have a foreign company operating their business, generating revenue for their business outside the US, and then a branch of government in the US says, hey, you broke our securities law. Like, we didn't even offer your product there. Now, you could also make the counter argument that, hey, there was a host of US exchanges that service US based customers that offered your product, but and you went into negotiations with these exchanges to provide liquidity. And so, that's where the argument is. But very interesting that I think that the securities laws and the SEC is so overreaching. It's crazy. Anyways, Solana also joins in as well. So this is a tweet from the Solana Foundation. Solana disagrees with the characterization of SOL as a security. We welcome the continued engagement with policymakers as constructive partners on regulation to achieve legal clarity on these issues for the thousands of entrepreneurs across the U.S. building in the let's see what else is building in the digital asset space. Solana's builder community is the strongest in the industry and continues to build exceptional projects and products. The Solana Foundation remains committed to those building for the long haul to create the best blockchain for a decentralized future. And once again, we've talked about this several times, but at some point, somebody has to fund a blockchain, right? You want to build a blockchain, you have to have coders and developers, and you have to launch it, and you have to create the roadmap. You have to design the infrastructure. It's kind of like a baby, you gotta raise this thing. Before it can go out there and run and take care of itself, before it can develop and run on itself, you need to teach it. You need to grow the blockchain and the project to a level where it's sufficiently decentralized that it can operate on its own. And so what we have here is many different projects, many different cryptos that are in this transitional period where there is a foundation that started it, that got it going. And now these projects are, after reaching milestones on their roadmap, after reaching certain parts where, hey, we've initiated the smart contracts, we've offered the staking or whatever it is, now it's running on its own. The nodes are deciding the direction of the chain at this point. And maybe it's not 100% decentralized. Nothing ever will be. Maybe it's still more centralized, but it's going that direction with a lot of crypto projects. And so the big issue that we have here is the SEC just simply claims that everything is a security because they had an investment round, and And sure, these projects fit that box, or that narrative makes sense at its inception. But the fact that these crypto tokens offer utility and do more than what a stock would do. A stock is a representation of ownership in a company. That's a stock. That's a security. And they're likening these ICO tokens, these crypto tokens, to that. And it may be at stage one, at its very early infancy, it is that, right? Sure, it doesn't do anything other than, hey, I own some tokens, and yeah, it's going to be profitable down the road. Anyways, at some point, it's not that. At some point, you can use these as energy. You can use them to facilitate transactions. You can use it to store digital identification, to store NFTs, to do something in the future. And if you think that this world is going to move forward in a real, tangible, I own everything only in real life, we are moving into an era where things are being stored, and we hear about it all the time. Data, right? Your data is secure. We had a data breach. And what is that? That's what you own in the internet world that somebody else owns, right? So when you type in a tweet, somebody else owns that, right? Your data is now stored somewhere else and somebody owns it. And at some point, we're going to be able to own our own pieces of data. And maybe that's art, maybe that's a avatar, maybe that is digital documents, maybe that is your birth certificate, maybe that's your house, your deed, your car title, your contracts. All of these items are going to be digital assets that are stored on the internet that you own. And these more than likely going to live on the blockchain because they're immutable and they can be stored, transferred, moved, verified, and it's all transparent. And so that's the direction we're going. Anyways, I want to talk about one last thing. I just want to get into the Binance. So the SEC asked court's permission to hunt down Binance CEO CZ via alternative means. I'm curious what this means. Alternative means, huh? And so the United States, I don't know why this thing's not letting me highlight. Okay, anyways, I'm just going to go through it without highlighting. Is my computer like freezing up here? All right. Well, anyways, this whole thing froze. But so the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is asking the court's permission to track down CZ in an alternative manner. So I'm curious on what that means when they say alternative manner. Does that mean that this thing is frozen? Oh, there we go. So the new court filing, the SEC asked the DC court for permission to freeze assets of the company operating as Binance.us. So first of all, the SEC, we've discussed this before, this isn't breaking, but they are trying to freeze all crypto assets for Binance.us and also their parent company, which is insane to me. And then on top of that, they are in this document. So the SEC wants to exercise its equitable power to I'm not even going to try right now, to freeze assets for BAM management. And furthermore, this is an interesting part. The regulatory agency is seeking the court's permission to serve Binance and CZ via alternative means. And they didn't clarify what alternative means, right? For some reason, I don't know why, but I just have this I just feel like they're gonna send Dog the Bounty Hunter out there. like, hey man, alternative means we're sending Dog the Bounty Hunter because this has got to be America's biggest asset when it comes to serving papers and capturing people that are abroad, right? If you're outside the U.S. Regulatory jurisdiction, if you're in another country and you want to operate outside of the normal law, go no further than Dog the Bounty Hunter. Just letting you know. Thank you. All right, and then so that'll I think that's all I got there. What else here? Oh, and then another piece of news just quickly. Crypto.com confirms the Arena name won't change. So they dropped services for their institutional clients, and there was a lot of concern that they're shutting down different branches of their exchange. We obviously know that they slowed down on the staking services, and were they going to back out of their naming rights deal with their Crypto.com Arena, formerly known as the Staples Arena in Los Angeles. And so, yeah, they're keeping still the same name. There you go. All right. And then let's want to give a little love to the chat here. We got 150 people watching. Decent little Sunday turnout. Appreciate it. And I want to ask you guys, before we move on, I want to know, what kind of questions do you have? What are y'all doing? Or what are y'all thinking? And then I'll kind of go over some of these. We do have Paul Barker says, question, do you think all the shenanigans with the SEC, Coinbase, Binance, and the coins is likely to neuter the coming bull market? I think it could absolutely stifle the gains, because what exactly is a bull market? The bull market is new money coming in, right? The representation of these big candles and the big moves in the bull market is not exactly just hype. It is new money coming in, right? That's why we look at the market cap, right? The market cap represents how much money is invested in crypto. And so to get a bull market, this market cap needs to grow. And so right now, if you want to see Bitcoin at, say, $100,000, as an example, you would expect the market cap to grow by at least 4x. So you would need this to go up to $4 trillion, right? And for the market to go to $4 trillion, if the market were to go to $4 trillion, you're going to need a lot of new money coming in. And where does new money come from? Well, it comes from eager investors that are not in our ecosystem, that want to invest, they want to pile in. And if the exchanges are closed here in the US, they don't service these clients. That is a big percentage. I know I've seen numbers like 17% of the crypto ecosystem is US residents. And if we were to just say round that up as an example, so 20% of and if 20% of all money in crypto comes from the US, then and US isn't allowing new people to onboard, and it would be expected to get less gains in the bull market. Do I think that the halving will come around and the crypto markets will pump? Absolutely. 100%. Coming into next year, we are going to rally. The Bitcoin halving will cause a price shock. People will get excited. People will pile in. The value of Bitcoin and crypto in general will go up. I have no doubt about that. But what are the gains? What are the returns? Is there enough new liquidity, enough new money, enough new users that have the ease of use of onboarding? That's what powered the last couple bull markets. In 2013, you had Mt. Gox open up. And so instead of buying directly from friends or miners, you could buy from an exchange. And then from there, the next bull market, 2017, there was new liquidity. There was all these new exchanges on how to buy. And so there's all these new on-ramps. 2021, and it was the same thing. It was all these new areas of provided, these new sources of liquidity being provided. Now the liquidity is drying up. The on-ramps are drying up and they're going backwards. And so I have a concern that that is going to stifle the crypto market's growth next bull market. But I feel confident that regulation will come in within the next 2 years. It seems very uncertain right now, but I feel confident that the markets will come back. All right. And then let's see here. What else we got? What's with the article saying the S&P has entered a short-term bull market with the reversal doing unemployment? You know, when it comes to the broader macro environment, I don't think anybody really knows. I think everyone's kind of throwing their hats out there. You know, could we go into this huge debt bubble popping and commercial real estate going under and treasury bills are in a bear market? And there's a lot of narratives that can be spun here. You can also at the same time spin the opposite side, like, hey, we have no debt ceiling. They're going to be money printing. The interest rates are going to cut. And so I don't think anybody really knows. I do think that, I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. For me, I'm just kind of keeping my eye on the crypto markets. And then Crypto Billy says, have you ever heard of the new sneakers that have a clip in them that when you walk around, you mine, move and earn? You know, there's a lot of projects out here that are creating interesting ways of generating revenue. I will say that for me personally, I think there's a lot of things that are gimmicky, and your utility still needs to match up with the vision, right? And so if you're simply paying people to operate, you know, if you're like earn to wear, for example, like, hey, you wear some shoes, you wear some sunglasses, you wear a hat, you wear a shirt, well, you'll earn tokens. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do with those tokens? Those tokens get their value because of their worth, right? And so if there's no value outside of, hey, we're just going to pay you for wearing, at some point they're going to run out of money to pay you, right? You need to generate outside revenue. You need to have a real utility in the world. And for that reason, I don't think it's realistic. Now, like, is an example of a similar product that would be successful, but like earn to listen, for example. Like say you got paid to listen to music, right? And the artists that were playing were in, so let's just say, hey, I listened to 5 different artists, and these artists I'm getting paid to listen. But at the same time, if these artists are promoting themselves by getting people to listen, it's almost like spending ad revenue, right? Hey, I want to get my name out there. I'm willing to pay this platform, say $10,000 to get my name out there, to get my music circulated. And you can divvy this up amongst the people that listen. So every time someone listens to my song, you get paid for it. That's an example. But so you're getting money from the outside ecosystem. So everybody wins. I get exposed to new music. The artist gets exposed to new listeners and grows their base. And then at the same time, I get rewarded. And then the platform that's offering the music also gets rewarded as well. But at some point, the artists themselves are going to have to make money. So they're going to have to generate income for outside of that, because they don't want to just pay for people to listen. They want people to listen and get paid for it. And so you got to have this balance. And so these ecosystems need to be very complex, right? And so if you're going to pay to earn, you need to have a business model outside of that very, very small if and then situation. If I listen, then I get paid. It needs to be a broader thing. Now, if you took a broader chain, like just say like Ethereum, like, hey, I earn Ethereum if I do X, Y, and Z, like mining, for example, then I'm providing utility to the network. The network pays me in return, and other people use the tokens. So I just haven't seen a successful play to earn business model just yet. So I'll just leave it at that. All right. And then Paul Lucan says almost 100 likes. Oh, we just got 100. There it is. Also, we got K Jetel. And he says Olaf from Norway. Candle Daddy here as well. And so to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. And then I do want to get into a couple things. So if you're not new to this part of the show, this is where I do some inward reflecting. I say, hey, finances are in shambles. You just fix that. If you ain't making enough money, well, how are you planning on investing? How are you planning on DCAing? How are you planning on putting in a buy order on a project when it's low if you ain't got the capital for it, right? And so there's two ways of adjusting your investable income, right? Well, one, investable income is more like disposable income, right? Because you have your base salary, you have your base bills, you pay your bills, whatever's left over, that's your disposable income, right? You subtract your cost of living. And so if you can increase your investable income, your disposable income, then hey, you got more money to invest in whatever crypto projects you want. And so for us, we can kind of just try to say, hey, where am I right now in my own personal goals when it comes to earning money in my career goals? And, and there's a balance there, right? You want to earn money, and at the same time, you don't want to go crazy, and you want to have a cool job and do something you love to do. And you can find the balance. And it's not all about just simply making more money. It's also living below your means, right? It's hey, should I buy this car that costs me $900 a month when I don't really have much wiggle room in my money, and when I could alternatively buy a $400 car? So these are areas that you can cut back. So anyways, today I want to talk about your mindset, right? And getting to that next level. And for me, it's about, it's about the mindset. It's about the goals, right? So you sit here and you say to yourself, like, I want more out of my life, right? I want to make more money. I want to have better relationships. I want to be happier at work. Well, start one by, if you're not in a position that you're enjoying right now, and you're not in a career that you're enjoying, there's something that you want to do that's more fulfilling, like you got to get up and get after it, right? And for me, what I've noticed, and I'm guilty of it myself, is that you're always waiting for the right moment, right? You're waiting for the situation to align itself, and you're thinking like, okay, once I graduate here, once I get this degree, once this company opens, once this location moves, once this guy comes out here, once I get in my new house, once I'm done with vacation, it's all this like situations that realistically you're just setting a date for something that could be done now, right? The progress could be done now. And the funny thing is that everything else in your life isn't waiting, right? And so you're waiting for the right moment. You're waiting for the right situation to arise to take it to the next level. People are waiting for January 1st to put in their resolutions. And so you have all these arbitrary dates and goals that will start when things happen. And the funny part is that life doesn't wait for you, right? Depression isn't waiting for you to be at a certain spot. Fear isn't waiting for you to attack. Stress isn't waiting for you to attack. Your bills aren't waiting for you to get that new job, right? And the biggest thing for me is that you gotta act now. Like if you're putting out this date, you're putting out this, I'm going to do this when, you're gonna be there forever. You gotta step up now, man. Like, are you here to do something great, or are you here to clock in and clock out and get that 401k? I went to school. I had dreams. I had ambitions. I'm not here to work for somebody else. Not to say that you can't work for somebody else, but myself personally, I'm not here to make somebody else's legacy great. And I just think that, like, we try to make other people great and never really will focus on ourselves. Well, what do I mean by that? Right? If you come in energetic and in good spirit, you go to work and you're like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna make this company more money, and I'm gonna be great. And so you put all your energy when you're vibing, you put all your energy into making another company more money and making another company look great. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but if that is all your energy is going to somebody else and you're not putting any of that energy into yourself, just imagine if the hardest day you had, the most successful day you had, the most progress you've had, the most fulfilled you had at work, where you just nailed it, you crushed it, you hit your goals, you hit your sales or whatever, your boss is like, wow, you just crushed it, right? You're propping somebody else's legacy up. But if you're not doing that for yourself, you're empty, right? Why would you try so damn hard to prop somebody else's legacy up, but you won't prop up your own? And we do that in life in general. We're quick to boost up our politicians that we like. You know, we'll sit out here, we'll devote our whole life to saying, hey, vote for this guy. We'll devote our whole lives to saying our religion is the best one. We'll devote our whole lives to saying this sports franchise is the best one ever. The Eagles fans, like, the Eagles are the greatest franchise ever. Like, they just pour all this energy. They'll buy merchandise. They'll go out. They'll go on shows. They'll call in the talk shows. And they'll spend their entire lives trying to make somebody else great. But they don't take the time to make themselves great. We got to shift the mindset. First of all, go do great things. Do it for other people. Do it for other countries. I love the Golden Knights. That's our team. Like, they're great. But I'm gonna say they're great. I'm gonna support them, and I'm gonna say, like, yes. The politicians that embrace crypto, I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna beat the drum. I'm gonna say how great these people are. I'm gonna put my energy into those. But I'm not gonna forget about myself. I'm gonna put the energy in myself as well. I'm not going to wait for the right time to get myself going. I'm not going to wait for the degree to be in my hand to make some progress. I'm going to start this now. You have to start now. Now, not later, not when this happens, not when you get this, not when this, like, this minute, this moment, this, like, even right now watching this, you should be thinking, like, what can I do to move to the next level? What makes me happy, and what can I do to get more of that? What makes you happy? Not these materialistic things. Like, you know, if you think about what makes you happy, and it's car, house, you can buy those. That's not gonna make you happy. What happens after you get it? Those are good. I got a nice car. My house is nice. That's not my goal. Stop building somebody else's legacy. Start working on your own. Set out clear, concise goals. Start on a Sunday. Plan out your week. Evaluate how that goes next week at Sunday. Build something great, man. Build something great. I wasn't put on this earth to be ordinary. This is being extraordinary. And if anything, if you don't want to build something spectacular and grand, even if you don't want to go out and have a statue after yourself or be in some book, at least don't complain and seek what makes you happy. Right? Life's too short. I don't care. I don't have bad days. Not anymore. I'd have bad moments. I might reflect. But I'm thankful for everything I have. Thankful for the others around me. Thankful for every day. And so if you come up to me and you complain and you're miserable, get away from me. Get away from me. I don't want it. I don't want that poison near me. Right? All right. Well, that's going to be it for that. So, little Totoro Cologne says, Hennessy? No, this is coffee, man. It's coffee. Yeah. Jason says, thanks. A lot of thanks. Let's be great. Gonzo's in here. Met Gonzo in real life. Awesome dude. Got I'm working on the intro. So I just was doing some new images. I had you there. Kind of like looking around. Oh man. Excited for today. What are you guys gonna do today? Type in the chat. What is your plans today? What are you gonna do? You gonna relax? Are you gonna get something done? You're gonna clean something? You're gonna spend time with somebody? You're gonna work on a project? There's something you're looking forward to? Put it in the chat. Curious. Cashing in crypto says, what up, Rob? What up? All right, guys. I am going to end this thing because I got a lot to do. I want to say thank you for all of you hanging out with me on this Sunday. A lot of fun. It's a good show. And yeah, Crunksy says no whiskey like George. I will only drink very periodically, man. It's try not to make a habit of it. I've had a habit of drinking before. Not to say I've ever really had a problem, but definitely swayed my productivity, put it that way. So for me, moderation. And so I try not to drink much. Might have a drink a couple times a month, maybe. And Paul Baker says, I wanted to say, right, you're not a TA guy, but you tend to be right more times than those, from my experience. And I've heard that a couple times. Here's the thing. I don't try to make a lot of calls, right? But sometimes there's just a lot of history, and a lot of times, you can just feel the energy in the crypto space, and you can kind of just know what direction it's going. Right now, there's not a lot of energy in crypto. There's no way it can make a big move to the upside. And even to the downside, it's just not enough trading, right? It's not enough people actively like selling and buying like crazy. And so for that reason, that's why I think the market's going to do what it's doing now. Rick Wilson says he's prepping to spray paint a classic car. Cool. Working on a lawn and cleaning the garage. Updated a contact list. Reaching out to 20 people. Knock it out first. Yeah, cool. Chance says that was a good one. Crypto Billy's grilling them steaks. In and out Crypto's jumping in the ocean. Rocco, I want to see some. I want to see some photos. Send me some photos of you in that Speedo. I know that's what them Italian people wear. Don't lie to me. I know it's all you got. You probably got a suitcase full of nothing but Speedos. And then what else we got? Kevin B says, I want to sit on a live stream in the studio. You should. Come to Vegas. Everybody comes to Vegas at some point. Make it happen sooner than later. Hussein says, very tough. Hugh, no problem. It's okay, bro. Not exactly sure what you mean. Kevin says he's in SoCal. 4 hours away, bro. 6 hours away. I don't know, however long. Or it's like a 45-minute plane ride. All right, gentlemen. That's going to be it. Big Rob.